The L is water, ready? Got it. All ready? Yes, it's all right. Call this the Houston City Council meeting for Monday, March 28th to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Lennon,
Here.
Member Rush,
Here.
Councilmember Buck, absent and excused, Mayor Pro Tem Hill,
Here.
Mayor Clark.
Here. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance and the statement to the invitation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Keep our heads. Dear Lord, please bless this gathering. Thank you for our audience and all who participate tonight. Please keep our staff and all city workers safe as they perform the duties of the city. Assist our city leaders in the understanding, the wisdom, and the courage to make decisions that will benefit our community. Help those who are less fortunate, the hungry, the abused, and especially the homeless. Please protect our men and women in the military. We pray for their safe return to their families. Finally, Lord, please bless the great nation, city of Houston. Members of the audience may address the city council on any other of interest to the public pertaining to the city and may step to the podium, state their name and city of residence for the record, and make their presentation. Please limit presentations to 5 minutes. Since the city council cannot take action on matters not on the agenda unless the action is authorized by section 54954.2 of the government code, items of concern which are not urgent in nature can be resolved more expeditiously by completing and submitting to the city clerk a citizen's request form, which may be obtained from the city clerk. Citizen's request?
Mayor, we have Alex Finelli, case
Okay.
MGA. It's just an
Please.
tell you some about MGA.
Step up to the podium, still there's a microphone here. Okay,
Mike's gonna catch you.
okay, perfect. Thank you. My name is Alex Pinelli. Our company is MGA Research. We've been around for 45 years and predominantly we are in physical testing. Mostly within that, the automotive industry, a couple other industries we're part of is aerospace, outer space, and even like high voltage battery testing as well. So a variety of things. This facility here in California, here in Houston, old Dairy Farmers of America plant, we closed on last Wednesday. So we're brand new to the town. Thank you very much. And we'll be bringing things in phases. So it'll be our 9th facility. We'll start with automotive component level type testing. A lot of our customers are the big automotive manufacturers as well as their suppliers, tier 1, tier 2, et cetera. Over time, we'd like to keep bringing in more of our work that we do, bring in more customers, expand on that facility. It's 80,000 square feet, so there's a lot of ground to cover. We won't do that right away. We have already hired 3 people officially from California, and the initial team we'd like to get up to around 7, 3 of which are, or sorry, 8 actually, 3 of which are coming from existing MGA locations, myself included. Over time, I think we can probably get up 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 people there over the next several years. So we're really excited to bring ourselves to the community and, working with Mary and Rachel and the rest of the team here, you guys have been very welcoming so far. So I appreciate all of that. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them or meet offline as well.
Questions?
Which is it White Beast?
Sorry?
White Beast?
So the town itself, we hadn't heard of. It was really just the plant that really attracted us. It was lower dollar, obviously being so old, but very, very big. And it fit what we're looking for as well. There are portions of the facility that very easily can be converted into a crash lane, so we can tow full vehicles down there. It's sectioned as well, so we can bring different areas of our business there.
Thank
you.
Very good. Welcome to the city. Very much appreciate moving in. When you do get in full operation, would we be allowed to take a tour of the facility?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of the work that we do is highly confidential. The products that we're working with, the pre-developed, things like that. But especially in the earlier stages, once we get things rolling, like we can absolutely cover those things up, have you guys come in, things along those lines. We'd be happy to have
Yeah,
you.
it'd be appreciated.
I will stress, like I said, it's going to be in phases, so there will be parts of the building that still are not renovated, but we'll bring in the parts that are looking good.
Very good. And Jim, welcome to Houston.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Moving on to 2.1, review and accept the 2021 piece of service agreement.
Good evening, everybody. Fidel Landeros, Chief of Police here in Houston. I'm going to be giving the year-end report for 2021 for Houston Police Services, provided by the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department. Before I begin with the stats and the information I'm going to be providing, I want to make sure that we go over our mission, vision, and model for the Sheriff's Office, which is the foundation of the service that we provide here in Houston. Our mission for the Sheriff's Office and for Houston Police Services is protecting our communities by building trust, reducing crime, promoting safety through enforcement, prevention, and education. Our vision, we will be a source of pride recognized for our effective, innovative, and thoughtful role in the community we serve. And our motto is to build trust, reducing crime, and promoting safety. And how do we accomplish that? With our core values, which are respect, teamwork, integrity, innovation, and courage. As I was preparing for this report, I asked the sheriff if he had a message for the community. And I'm going to read it. I'm going to quote it what he told me. Message B says, Sheriff Jeff Dirksey, I'm proud of the work the Sheriff's Office team has done in the last year. In spite of the continued challenges of COVID-19, we have made great strides in our enforcement operations, community programs, and internal innovation. As we move into the next fiscal year, we expect to continue to add even more staffing and resources to protect our community. End of quote. So with that being said, during this last year, 2021, we have all the new communities coming up in Parkwood.
This is the.
Right.
Okay, I was told to go one place and then another.
Oh,
Sorry. All right. Thank you. I'm Pastor Scott Mills. I'm here to say the prayer.
Oh, the mayor got you covered already.
Oh, well, all right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, he told me to go to that place and then this one. Not here.
Well, welcome.
Welcome. Sorry, I'm late.
So with that being said, with Parkwood and all the other subdivisions going on, coming in, it's a good time to start thinking about our future. Just like the sheriff said, adding even more staff. I know it's not in the next year or two, but it's something that we need to start looking forward to. Our ratio officer to citizen is pretty standard, in industry standard. However, once all those homes and all the population start coming in, our officer ratio to public is going to decrease. And we want to make sure that we are looking ahead for that. And my message to the community: in 2021, despite the unique challenges our community faced in striving for normalcy, Houston Police Services remain consistent with the high level of service provided to our community. Aside from providing professional and efficient police services, our team participated in community events meant to enhance community trust in law enforcement and promote safety, which ultimately assists in reducing crimes. I feel 2021 was very successful year for Houston Police Services, and I look forward to the year ahead. So with that, our Houston Police Services staff has not changed too much from last year. Our legal clerk remains Renee Warnock. She's the face that our public sees when she first comes into our substation to report or request any information from police services. She does a very fantastic job. I often hear her talking to the public and guiding them on whatever issue they have. Our community resource deputy, Sanjay Prasad, I like to think of him as our jack of all trades. because he's everywhere in the city. No matter what I ask him to help in or assist with, he has it, and he knows just about everybody here in town. So I'm very proud of the work he does. And our deputy sheriff's assigned here to Houston Police Services. On the first part of the week, we have Corbin Alanis and Joaquin Flores. On the second half of the week, we have Daniel Campos and Brian Cummings. That will be changing soon. Daniel is going to be rotating out to our reservoir units, and we will be getting Deputy Antonio Carranza. He's very excited to come to Houston Police Services, and once he gets here in April, I'll have him come and introduce himself to the city council.
Is he related to the Carranzas from the pharmacy?
I have no idea. I will find out though. All right, as far as our stats go, our stats are they're gathered and reported through the Uniform Crime Report, which is provided by the FBI. There hasn't really been any major increases or decreases. It's been pretty consistent for the last 3 years. I will point out, we did have a major incident here in 2021. We had one homicide. That was the first homicide in, I believe, I think close to 10 years. So we did have one homicide. Our property crimes did increase very slightly from 35 incidences to 45 incidents. However, I mean, if you look at the big scheme of things, 45 incidents for a small town it's not too concerning in my opinion. Also, our motor vehicle thefts did increase as well. However, if you gather the UC Part 1 crimes and then also our UC Part 2 crimes, Uniform Crime Report crimes, in 2020, our Part 1 crimes was 170. In 2021, it was 161. So there was a decrease in those crimes. And then for our Part 2 crimes, in 2020, there was 129 incidents. And in 2021, 109 incidents. So there was a decrease, a slight decrease. It was pretty consistent to what we've been seeing for the last 3 years. As far as our calls for services, they went down this year as well. In 2020, we had 3,484. In 2021, we had a total of 2,623. A slight decrease in calls for services. And with the decrease in calls for services, you can also expect a decrease in arrests. Although there was a decrease in arrests, I mean, it's pretty consistent. There's nothing too great of a gap or anything like that. So in 2020, we have 51 felony arrests. In 2021, there's 36. In 2020, misdemeanor charges, there were 79. And in 2021, 74. And self-initiated activity as well went down this year. There's in 2020, there was 1,260 incidents of self-initiated activity. In 2021, there's 720. However, we did see an increase in area checks. I think folks are starting to call more to request area checks. And also there's more community-oriented policing type events. We went from 5 to 11, and then our extra patrol requests as well jumped by 2. Not a big change. It's just pretty consistent for the last couple of years. As you can see, in 2016, you know, there was a major drop from 2016 and 2017. I'm not sure what the cause of that was, but since 2019 to 2021, it's been pretty consistent. It's been pretty. You see the line's pretty straight, which tells me it's all been pretty consistent as far as the crime and the incidents here in Houston. So we also look at response times. It's very important that you know, our deputies get to any type of crime or any type of call in a timely manner. So we look at that as well. So in 2020, our average response time for non-self-initiated activity was 2 minutes 2.94 minutes. And there was just a very slight jump to, in 2021, to 3 minutes, 3.22 minutes. And then in priority one calls, the same thing, a very, very slight increase from 3.85 minutes to 4.1 minute. I think it should be noted that we're talking about minutes and milliseconds here, and that's pretty good for being in a community and having that type of response when somebody calls 911. It's a good response time. So I want to make the council and the community aware of a big change that we're going to be seeing next year. So the stats that you just saw, it's the UCR, the Uniform Crime Reporting Stats, which basically is gathered on the hierarchy rule. What that means is, for example, I'll just give a basic example. Let's say there was a call that there's a fella that beat somebody up with a bat, and on the way out, smashed the car up, and then stole another car. So the most serious crime in that is obviously the crime to the other person. So that would be an assault with a deadly weapon. The way that we were reporting it, the UCR just wanted the most egregious crime, or the most serious crime. And the other crimes that happened during that one incident were not reported on. Now we are, and it's nationwide. It's not just us. It's nationwide. There's been a change. Now we're going to the National Incident-Based Reporting System, or NIBRS, and also the California Incident-Based Reporting System, CYBRS. So we're going to have two separate databases that we will be reporting to, and we've already started. With the sheriff's office, we had to change our record systems and our databases and everything to be able to report to CYBRS and NIBRS the data. And what that means is now we're going to get a more detailed view of what crime is actually happening in the community, because it's not just the hierarchy rule. They're actually going to start statting the obviously the assault with a deadly weapon, but also the vandalism that occurred and the vehicle that was stolen. So I want to put everybody on point that next year, our crime stats might look like they've increased because of that reporting. And it's not just going to be us, it's going to be everybody across the state, or across our county at least, because we're starting to implement it. So in a nutshell, that's what's happening, and the sheriff's office has already started giving those stats. Last couple of months, we started the program. So during this year, despite like like I said, we're trying to get back to normal. We did have some community events I was very proud of our team. Number one is a National Night Out. It was a great event. We were able to go out and contact and talk to residents and do community outreach, and it was a really good. I think that was the first event that we did publicly after COVID. So that was it was a great success, and everybody really liked it. The other one, our Halloween parade trunk or treat event. The sheriff's office provided a lot of specialty teams for that event, and we worked very well with the city to put on a really good event. I got positive comments from the community in regards to that event. I'm looking forward to next year to actually winning that prize for the for the best booth. I don't know about what happened this year. And the Houston Christmas Parade. Again, that's the first time I was a part of it because of COVID and everything else. And man, what a great event that Houston has. The Christmas Parade, we had so many people out and watching the parade, and then the Santa route afterwards. Every weekend, the fire department And we helped out with the, with the procession, the parade or whatever, to go to every, street in Houston to have Santa greet the kids and stuff. It was a very, very good, event. I'm very proud to be a part of that. So our goals for 2022, pretty standard, and just like our motto and our vision and our mission, it's building trust, and without trust, you can't police a community. And we want to reduce crime, although our crime is not astronomical or anything like that. I mean, our goals are always to reduce crime. We want to promote safety. And we want to make sure our community is safe and everybody is doing the right thing. So how are we going to do that? Well, the three ways that I see that we can promote those goals or reach those goals is for number one, implementing creative ways to engage the community. We already started our Spanish language community academy. That's going very well. I think being part of the community, going out to all the different events and having a good presence, the sheriff's office having a good presence during those events. Anytime there's something going on at the high school, I know Prasad and Campos are mentored at the high school or at the schools. Anything we can do to be in the community, engaged community, will help out with that. Our constant, and so next is our concentrated effort to communicate via social media platforms. Everybody gets their news from Facebook, from Instagram, from Nextdoor. And I think it's important that we are a presence in the community or in the social media platform. Our team over at the sheriff's office is very active. And whenever I ask them to put some out for Facebook or for Instagram, they're on it. And I think putting current and frequent messages and information on those social media platforms will be good and will help us ultimately in reaching our goals. And lastly, implementing Stanislaus County ALPR. I know there was what is that? The automated license plate reader project to promote safe neighborhoods. Earlier in the year, IntelliSite came and did a presentation to the council and to the community in regards to our automated license plate reader program. They are already installing the cameras. I think we're either next or soon to be on the list to get ours up and running. And that's going to provide a whole new level of information that we can use to better protect our city here in Houston. So I'm looking forward to that and see where we can go with that. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to, and not only me, but our team with the sheriff's office, with the services, looking forward to 2022. I appreciate the hard work that our team does with Houston Police Services, and I appreciate the teamwork and the relationship that we have with the city staff and all the other with the council and all the other groups here in town, because that teamwork is what makes some cheesy this thing work, right? But yeah, I appreciate it, and that is all I have. Look forward to 2022.
Any questions from council staff?
No, I just want to say, let Sanjay know that, well, he was excellent.
He's not leaving. Campos is leaving.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, in Los Angeles, staying put.
Well, that's even better.
Yes, but I will let Sanjay know. in case he does leave.
I got a little story.
Okay.
I think it was 25 years ago, I think, that I was on the committee to look at the Houston Police Department and us transferring over to a community service with the Sheriff's Department. And I know I got a lot of calls during all those meetings that a lot of people were concerned that we wouldn't get the service from the Sheriff's Department that we got from the Houston Police Department. And I know in that committee, we voted unanimously that we should transition over because we thought we'd get a lot better things for the community of Houston. So I'm glad that it's working out, and you guys do a wonderful job, chief, and, look back, I think it's been 25 years, I'm gonna guess that, the sheriff's department has been our enforcement.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I just have one question. On your area checks, do some of the deputies still look on, next door neighbor to get indications of where they might need to go take a look?
Absolutely. Yeah, not only do I frequent the Nextdoor app, I know our deputies look on there as well, and if they see a call or, somebody complaining about something, they will go and check it out and put themselves out on a call. Although I will say it's not ideal for folks, because I know there's a lot of folks that post things on Nextdoor and never actually call the sheriff's office to make an actual report. And I often go and respond to them on private message and say, hey, if you had that happen, make sure you call. And even we put out messages on Nextdoor as well to make sure that they actually call the sheriff's department to report an incident. But yeah, we do. We look and if I see it, I'll send the deputy out, hey, go make contact with this person and get the information on
Yeah.
the incident.
I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the public with the sheriff's department doing that. Makes them feel a lot better. Okay, so I truly want to thank you. I want to thank all your deputies and the partnership with the sheriff's office. You guys do a great job, and you're keeping Houston safe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good job supporting another year.
Yeah.
Right. Really? Okay. Now we move on to consent calendar. Mr. Bourne, I believe you ordered pull items.
3.5 and 3.6 for a quick question.
Okay. Any other items that need to be pulled? Hearing none, I will accept a motion to approve consent calendar items 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, and 3.7 as is. So moved. Second.
Councilmember Bonin.
Aye.
Councilmember Rush.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hill.
Aye.
Mayor Park.
Aye. Okay. Councilmember Bonin.
3.5 and 3.6 deals with the Houston Chamber of Commerce, and I just want to make note that I am the past president of the Houston Chamber of Commerce, as well as I'm the co-chair of the Houston Fruit Net Festival. I don't get paid or anything like that. I want to make sure that I do not have a conflict of interest.
You do not have a conflict of interest under the Political Reform Act. So
Thank you.
without financial interest, you're fine.
Okay, so I'd like to, with that, Mayor, I'd like to approve 3.5 and 3.6. Make a motion to.
So moved.
Okay, Councilmember Bonin.
Aye.
Councilmember Rush.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hill.
Aye.
Mayor Park.
Moving on to comments. We're going to start with our city manager.
Thank you. I just had a couple of comments. I had questions from council members and also residents about the road signs along Hatch being down. And it's because they were working on the canal bank. So those signs will be put back up as soon as that works done.
Tiller Road sign was posted again last week, but it looks like it got run over by the road grader.
Okay. We'll take a look at that. And then PG&E, I was asked what PG&E is doing in the city. They're actually replacing some old gas lines throughout the city, so they'll be here for a while.
That's pretty much down 4th Street, right?
I think it'll be throughout the city. Is that right?
Pockets throughout the city.
In pockets.
Did you get that sign, that Euclid Road sign that was against the wall on the right past Euclid and Saturday? It's on the other side of the canal along the wall. It's about 100 feet down.
We got it.
You got it? Thank you.
That's all.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on, Deputy City Clerk.
I just wanted to let everyone know that your Form 700s were mailed out last week. So if you're getting harassed about those, we can let them know. And then on April 6th, I sent a calendar invite for a cybersecurity training at 10 a.m. It'll be here in the council chambers. And bring your Surface Pros with you if you're able to make it, please.
April 6th at 10?
And that's it for me.
Thank you. Community Development Director.
So this is the season of annual reporting, so you had two items on your list today with the general plan with SB one. Other things are happening, we did get the bid out for the Tullywood Sewer project, so we expect to have bids in by the 27th is I believe, the new date. And then we have a bid meeting on the 12th that is not binding, but people are more than welcome to come to. We will be putting out an addendum already. We found there was some issues with the dates that had been left inside the bid documents that didn't meet the dates that we advertised. And then, a pipe, there was the wrong type of pipe, so for a part of the project that was in there. And so we just want to make sure that everybody's, playing on the same field and is aware that it's a certain pipe that they have to use. And we had someone from actually who provides pipe call us to let us know that it was not, and work with us to give us the specs, just in general, not that they're through their firm because they don't sell directly, but just to let us know. So it was very appreciative. We did the training for the survey for Walker. So every 5 years with CDBG projects, you have to make sure that your area qualifies to use those funds. And so we were right on the cusp of the 5-year with Walker. And there's other projects within that vicinity who would be next. And so we have a walking survey that we will do of those areas coming up. So if anybody we're trying to get the word out in the community, and we'll notice the folks just so that they don't think that we're there for any other reason than that. So. And that is all I have to report at this time.
The Tully Road Sewer Project, what does that consist of? What's the description of it?
We are replacing, so they're gonna first replace the existing play line. And then they're gonna switch the laterals over to a sewer line, an existing sewer line that they did a study on. And I believe that there's some pipe that's put in. Jaime understands the project better than me, with his area of expertise.
It's the abandonment of the old EFA line. When that collapsed, they're gonna backfill it with sand, transfer any lateral that's on the existing sewer line before the bypass that we did the emergency to the new sewer line. And also, switch over the water laterals and the old, iron line to the newer Transact line that's also on Tully Road. And it's also part of the, Second Street sewer upgrade. So Second Street is also part of that plan to replace the sewer line on Second Street.
Okay, so nothing to the other sewer line for the municipality. It's just the abandonment and.
The abandonment and transferring all that flow to that new sewer line. Yes.
And you guys are not gonna be a high, talking, you're not gonna be a high, addition to our sewer stuff. Yours is more technological.
That's correct. Yeah, through the business itself, it won't be able to be the staff members normally usage.
Okay, that's all. Thank you. Well, what about the, water treatment plant? What's the status on that?
On the well center replacement, we will be getting a report, soon report, the quarterly report, which will tell us all the details that we always like to hear about. So that will be shared with you as soon as it gets in. And then the TCP 1, 2, 3 treatment, they are moving on with that. I'm trying to remember what they were doing. They had gotten the permits to do the drilling to check water depths and that. And so that's where we were. And so that hasn't gone out to bid yet. We haven't got that. It'll come to you first before we move along with that project.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's all right.
Now I'm gonna probably ask once a month.
I expect that.
Thank you.
Okay.
1 second. Check something. Okay, can I actually, may I pull, I know that you approved SB1, but it looks like we received some information that they are gonna ask for different changes in the resolution. And so if we can make those edits now, we won't have to bring it back for another hearing. And so I am not sure,
Procedurally, you'd have a motion to reconsider item 3.4, then you would vote on that. And assuming you agree to revisit it, then we can represent it with the corrections. So we need a motion to reconsider item 3.3.
I will move that we reconsider, what's that, item 3.4?
Future discussion?
Nope, for right now.
Correct. Second.
Councilmember Warren,
Aye.
Councilmember Rush.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hill,
Aye.
Mayor Carr.
Aye.
alrighty, so some of the changes that they have made, it looks like, so they will call it the resolution adopting a list of projects for fiscal year 2021, funded by the SB1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017. And so I'll read these off. They'll go into the record. It's changing the resolution. And then, let's see. And so they've changed. So I'm just going to read the ones that we are going to do from now on, just to be efficient with this. So whereas Senate Bill 1, SB 1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017, Chapter 5, Statutes of 2017 was passed by the legislature and signed into law by the governor in April 2017 to address the significant multimodal transportation fund shortfall statewide. And whereas SB 1 includes accountability, transparency provisions that will ensure the residents of our city county are aware of the projects proposed for funding in our community and which projects have been completed each fiscal year. And whereas the city must adopt by resolution a list of projects proposed to receive taxpayer funding from the Road Maintenance and Rehabilitation Account, RMRA, created by SB 1, which must include a description and the location of each proposed project, the proposed schedule for the project completion, and the estimated useful life of the improvement. And whereas the city will receive an estimated, this is our old one. Lower funding amount. So we'll receive the estimated amount, as cited in the previous staff report. And let's see here.
144,704.
Thank you so much. And then, hold on a second. Let's see one more time. Oh, okay. In our funding in fiscal year 2021, from SB, or we will receive an estimated amount in RMRA funding in fiscal year 2022 from SB 1. And whereas this is the blank year in which the city county is receiving SB 1 funding and will enable, so we have received it since 2017, so 5 years. This is the 5th year in which the city county is receiving SB 1 funding and will enable the city to continue essential road maintenance and rehabilitation projects, safety improvements, repairing and replacing aging bridges, and increasing access and mobility options for the traveling public that would not have otherwise been possible without SB 1. And okay, whereas the city has undergone a robust public process to ensure public input into our community's transportation priorities and the project list. And whereas the city used a pavement management system to develop the SB 1 project list to ensure revenues are being used on the most high priority and cost-effective projects that also meet the community's priorities for transportation investment. And whereas the funding from SB 1 will help the city maintain and rehabilitate streets, roads, bridges, add active transportation infrastructure throughout the city this year, and of similar projects in the future, a number of similar projects in the future. Whereas the 2018 California statewide local streets and roads needs assessment found that the city's streets and roads are in a condition, we are waiting to hear what condition, but they're excellent, good, at risk, or poor. And this revenue will help us increase the overall quality of our road system, and over the next decade will bring our streets and roads into a good condition. So they're currently in a good, where we're at with our pavement management plan. And then, so we'll go forward with the good until they tell us otherwise. Whereas, and I'm almost done, whereas the SB1 project was an overall investment in our local streets and roads infrastructure with a focus on basic maintenance and safety, investing in complete streets infrastructure and using cutting edge technology, materials and practices will have a significant positive co-benefits statewide. Now therefore it is hereby resolved or found by the city council in the city of Houston, state of California. The foregoing recitals are true and correct, and the following list of newly proposed projects will be funded in part or solely with fiscal year monies, road maintenance and rehabilitation account revenues. And we will be, it asks us to add our projects in, which we will do. So we'll add those to the resolution, and the following previously proposed and adopted projects may also utilize fiscal year 2022 road maintenance rehabilitation account revenues in their delivery. With the relisting of these projects and the adopted fiscal year resolution, the city is reaffirming to the public and the state our intent to fund these projects with road maintenance and rehabilitation account revenues. And so we will relist each project that we have by title, description, location, and the schedule. And then the components in which we are funding with RA funds, and then the estimated project useful life. And so we can admit the resolution to match what the state is asking for and has invited me to attend a class for, in order to go.
We have to make a motion to, I make a motion to, add the revisions to this particular, resolution, yes, I'm sorry. Second.
Councilmember Guanin,
Aye.
Councilmember Rush. Mayor Pro Tem Hill.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. I have nothing further.
Moving on, Director of Finance.
No items of interest tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Police services.
Good evening, everybody. I would be reporting for the time period of March 9th through March 23rd. During that time, Houston Police Services conducted 13 traffic stops, 2 subject stops, issued 6 citations, and made 7 arrests. That time period as well, we had approximately 123 incidents here in the city. And a notable incident that occurred during that time period, on March 10th, Deputy Alanis conducted a traffic stop in the area of Tully and Santa Fe. During that traffic stop, he learned that the vehicle that the driver was driving was stolen. As he was completing his investigation or conducting his investigation, the driver fled, and he was quickly apprehended by Alanis and also the Empire deputy, Deputy Pinero. After the guy was detained and arrested, it's found that he had a no bail felony warrant out of Merced County Sheriff's Office, and he was also on probation for theft. During the search of the vehicle, there was drug paraphernalia located, aside from the vehicle being stolen, but there's drug paraphernalia and there was also a loaded syringe. What a loaded syringe means, in case you don't know, is it was loaded or full of drugs ready to be consumed. Under Miranda, after they Mirandized Perez, he said that he's been driving the vehicle since the day prior and that he was addicted to drugs and that he's a daily user. So with that in mind, he was arrested and booked for numerous charges into the county jail. And that's all I have.
What's he doing on the streets?
Looking for more drugs. And simple cars.
What is a no bail warrant? Oh, no bail?
No bail.
Oh, okay.
No bail.
You want to work it out? Thank you. Moving on, city attorney?
Nothing, sir.
Thank you.
We don't have a student representative, so we move on to council comments. We will start with Councilmember One.
Thank you, Mayor. Since our last meeting, I've attended the Houston Fruit Nut Festival Chamber of Commerce Planning Meeting. Done some meetings with the administrative staff on role as the co-chair of the Houston Fruit Nut Festival. Also want to thank the staff for all the work that you guys do. You make us look good out there, so continue that. Also, Sheriff, as usual, you guys do a wonderful job. Thank you for that. And I know that we've removed the trees at the water tank at Fox and is that Charles?
Mm-hmm.
So that's looking good there. We're planning to put some trees in there or some type of shrubbery.
Yeah, we're looking at what we can put in.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Rush.
I have nothing.
Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem Hill.
Prior to this meeting, I attended the economic development meeting, got a lot of good information. Being in the economic development area, I'm glad to see you two here. I really do appreciate it.
That's it. Thank you. I have actually no comments this meeting. Haven't really been involved in anything, but I have meetings coming up that I will report on at our next council meeting. So thank you. Seeing no closed session, I will accept a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Councilmember Gorman.
Aye.
Councilmember Rush.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hill.
Aye.
Mayor
All right, we are adjourned.